it's Isabel. Let's see. This weekend I was at Prospect Mountain in Woodford, Vermont for U16 championships, which is awesome and convenient for me. I got to stay at my dad's in Peru because it's only about 45 minutes from Prospect. So I'm still here in Peru for a couple more days before heading to Black Mountain in Rumford, Maine for Eastern High Schools. And yeah, so I'm just gonna have a nice day out in the woods here in Peru. I just summited Priest Hill up behind my dad's house. Now I'm gonna decide where to go next, but it's just a gorgeous spring skiing day here. So I just came down this hill and look, so the tracking today is interesting because it's quite crusty, but we got a little bit of fresh snow last night. Just a teensy little bit. Look at these tracks. This looks like multiple animals. You're gonna have to take a closer look, but I'm wondering if it's well, let me look first. So I do see some little claw marks in here, so I'm wondering if this is, I'm down near where I found those coyote bed sites back in December, so maybe this is my same little pack of coyotes just cruising around down here. Their tracks separate here and go different ways, but pretty exciting stuff. Okay, so look at this. This is not a coyote. Look at those tracks. So this looks like kind of like a human hand. See, 5 fingers. I wish I had a tracking book with me right now. This, I'm tempted to say raccoon. I just remember reading a while ago that raccoon tracks look kind of like human hands. And I know raccoons like to travel with friends, so that could make some sense. But look at that. That's a cool track. Look at this beauty. So this is a zone flooded by beavers. I love beavers. And look at all these trees. So the reason all these trees are standing here dead is because they're coniferous, they're evergreens, they're trees with needles on them. And remember, beavers don't like those because all the sap gets stuck in their teeth. They just leave. They don't like eating those ones. They like eating the bark of deciduous trees. And then we get these beautiful little spots in our landscape where you have all these dead trees, and it's just amazing habitat for birds especially. But I'm gonna stay down here on these beaver meadows today in the hope that I find some cool things. Because now with the warm temps coming, animals are getting active. They're coming out. They're getting out and seeing the world. And I'm gonna go see what I can find. All sorts of tracks in here. A lot, they're kind of a little too old to figure out what they're from, but it looks like walkers, just kind of walking around, sniffing things out. Remember, this is one of the nice things about these beaver meadows is they're so easy to move through. If I was an animal, well, if I was a prey animal, I'd probably stay away because then you're out in the open and people can see you, not people, but other animals who hunt you. But if you're a predator, oh man, why not take the easy path through the forest? Fun fact about beavers, they are monogamous, one mate for life. And what that means, the reason they're monogamous is because both mom and dad help in raising the babes. So they really have a really great little family structure. And they just kind of hang out in their lodge, and they're a fun, friendly family. And mom and dad both help raise the babes. And then the only real time they're in danger is when the babes turn into adolescence, and they have to go out and find their new homes, because then they'll leave their lodge and they'll actually go to a new watershed, which means that they have to walk on land for probably like a whole day or two. And that's when they're most at risk from predators, because they're not in the safety of their pond. But so that's a cool thing about beavers. And what this means is that male and female beavers look pretty much exactly the same, because they've sexual selection. They're not like they're not evolved through sexual selection and getting all fancy for their mates like male moose growing those crazy big antlers every year. That's all sexual selection, looking fancy for the females. But that's because the male moose don't help raise the kids. So more fun facts about beavers. So I just picked up the same tracks that I saw earlier that I thought were from a raccoon. And now I'm actually just wondering now if this could be a river otter, because I'm looking at the track pattern again, and this looks an awful lot like a bounder. And look, it's going straight towards this hole in the ice, and I'm wondering if it's a river otter that went and slunk back into the water. This would make me so excited if it were. I really I gotta look at the tracking book when I get home and look at those footprints. But luckily I got a good clip of them earlier, so I think I'll be able to figure it out. I don't see any place where an animal could have entered here, but that doesn't rule out the possibility. Over the weekend at Prospect, I saw my friend Elise's mother, Sarah, and she's doing the Catamount Trail in sections this year, and she showed me pictures of tracks she found of a river otter sliding down a hill, and they're just the cutest little tracks. They're just like the most playful animals, and they're so fun to see. Also at this time of year, well, maybe a little later in the spring, a few years ago, I was camping out at Stratton Pond with some students, and I woke up early in the morning and the ice was starting to melt, so the otters could come up onto the ice, and I got to see a couple otters out there mating all morning. It was pretty exciting. So I've been going upstream, and the beaver meadows are turning into beaver ponds, and they're becoming at least more recently active. So that's the old dam. Then here's a pond, and then look there's their lodge. And it looks like it's got a lot of stuff growing out of it. So I don't know if it's a currently in use or an old lodge, and maybe they've moved upstream again, because once they eat all the deciduous trees in an area, and they just eat the bark of them, not the whole trees, but once they eat all the deciduous tree bark in an area, then they'll just move on upstream and make a new pond, a new dam to make a new pond, to make a new lodge, which is why you often see these beaver meadows all strung out along a river. There's Styles Peak up there. This is cool. There must have been a high water event last week in that thaw, and it pushed the water up and over the ice here. Now I'm on another dam. They're everywhere. We love beavers. Another dam. They just keep going. Now I found a huge meadow. I just looked at the map. The river I was following split back there, and then both ways, this way and the other way, just keep turning into more and more beaver meadows. So I'll just keep going up this one and see what I find. It's a gorgeous day out here. Look at that. So there you can clearly see that that's an old dam. And then, look, it got breached here. So the beavers aren't living here anymore, because if they were, they would have patched this up already. But look at that. And then you can see their lodge right back there. But some cool icicles coming down there. This is just spectacular. And then up there, in the distance, I can see another dam up there. So maybe up there is finally where I'll find some beavers. So just look at this little series of micro dams. Dam, 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 big dam. I'm gonna go climb that one now. Look, grouse tracks. What will be here? Look, a pond. Where's the beaver lodge? Oh, there it is over there. Do we think this one's active? I don't know. Look, someone skied across it. Oh, that's a spur of the Catamount Trail. Cool. Okay. I think I know where I am now. I'll go look at this beaver lodge. Look at this. Oh, a moose pooped here. Look at the sides of these pebbles. So remember, moose are herbivores too. Oh, these are fresh. Wow, look at that. No, they aren't, silly Isabel. The tracks aren't fresh. The poos just look fresh because the snow has melted around them. But they make pellet poos because they're herbivores too. They're just massive pellets. And look at all the woody debris in there. Imagine being the size of a moose and having to get all of your sustenance from tree bark and twigs and buds for the winter. They must eat a lot of food. Wow. So I've tried going upstream of that last beaver pond some, and I think maybe the beavers came to the end of their line here and then probably had to hop across to a different watershed, because I think we're like up at the headwaters now. There's probably just not enough of a stream up here to sustain them. And it looks like that last pond is no longer active. Well, I guess it could be. There just aren't any signs of the beavers, but if they prepared well for the winter, they would have put tons and tons of deciduous trees under the water for themselves. They could just nibble on those all winter long. And if they're well prepared, then they don't have to come back out from their lodge and the pond until later in the springtime. So I guess there's a chance it's still active, but there's also a chance that they just had to move on from this watershed, ran out of a stream to continue going up on. So there you can see the beaver meadows. I was following upstream. I think I gotta try to follow this trail out over here, and that'll take me to a place where I know how to get home from. Hello, trail. I don't think this is the actual Catamount Trail, but it's a spur of the Catamount Trail, which is why it has the blue diamonds. I think if it was the actual Catamount, it would have the little Catamount paw print on it. But this will take me to the Catamount Trail. I made it to Richard Ardell's landing strip. He died about 20 years ago, but when we were little, he would fly his plane over our house and wave his wings at us. And we always got so excited. But I'm very close to the road now. I think I'm just gonna ski across here, then call it a day on the Nordic rock skis. They've been great, but the snow's softening up now and getting slow, so I think I'm gonna get to the road and then walk it in from there. But what a great day it's been. I'll see you next week, and remember to stay curious out there.